Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Closed by Closers. Today is day 7. Today is the final day of your first week. Hope all is going well. It's not, let's get it figured out. So today is simply going to be a review. Today is simply going over your accountability and obviously the system alignment. If you are not doing exactly what you should be doing, today is where we find out why not, and we obviously figure out what we need to change. Today is where we figure out where your bad habits have been formed, and we figure out how we can stop them before they get worse. So day 7 is a mandatory review checkpoint designed to evaluate execution from days 1 through 6. Now, this day does not introduce any new tactics, new scripts, no training, or any new strategies. It exists for one purpose, and that is to assess what has already been done in the previous days and to extract clarity from real action. So why does day 7 exist? So most people fail not because they lack information, but because they never stop to evaluate execution. Without review, mistakes repeat endlessly, bad habits compound over time, and effort becomes meaningless noise. If you spend a lot of time doing the wrong work, you're going to be wasting your time, you're going to be wasting my time, you're going to be wasting anybody else's time who's involved. Make sure you follow this process to a T, and I promise you it will work in your favor. Day 7 simply ensures that the system stays intentional and effective, and it's the difference between busy work and meaningful progress. So how does day 7 fit into the 90-day systems? The 90-day plan is structured in distinct phases, each building on the foundation of the previous one. For the first week, it's obviously work on the foundation, the action, and the initial exposure to the system. Following days are going to be training you exactly how to completely take advantage of our system from ground up, start making some money online. Any walk of life that you go into. Just to get you a little excited for what's coming in the future, for days 8 through 30, it's going to be some skill refinement and building unwavering consistency. Days 31 through 60 is scaling conversations and increasing conversion rates. And days 61 through 90 is optimization, leadership development, and leverage. By day 90, you should be a killer in the scene, and you should know every single aspect of what goes on behind the scenes in a proper online business. Understand that day 7 is the critical bridge between participation and discipline. It's where good intentions meet real accountability. So the non-negotiable rule for day 7 is it's a review only. Today is only a review day. Day 7 is exclusively dedicated to reviewing past actions, no exceptions. We're not doing any new outreach. There's no new scripts. There's no new strategies. There's no more sales today. You're simply going to be reviewing what you've already done. Understand that every answer today must be based on actions that have already been taken between days 1 through 6. There's no hypotheticals, there's no intentions, and no assumptions. We're going off of what you have already done. To go over what we've already done for the first 3 days is building your foundation. To go over, it was all about establishing execution over theory, progress through repetition, and personal responsibility. Your expectation was to show up and commit to daily action, such as sending messages out. Day 2 is the front-end fundamentals. Focus on understanding the front-end role, simplicity over perfection, and authentic conversation. Your expectation was pretty simple. You began messaging despite discomfort. And by day 3, you understand how the outreach structure works. You understand that there's required daily outreach volume, a repeatable process, and consistency regardless of the mood. Your expectation was pretty simple. Messages were sent every single day. Days 4 through 6 were pretty simple, just about developing your skills. Obviously controlling the conversation flow, the volume and emotional control, and qualification awareness. On day 4, we truly started to understand how conversations progressed beyond the opener. On day 5, you stayed consistent, even without replies. And by day 6, the expectation is pretty simple. You start beginning to identify serious interest versus people that are simply wasting your time. Now understand that each day was built upon the previous one, creating the foundation of skills back to our real experience. Today we measure how well that foundation was laid. Understand that without a good foundation, there is no way to scale your business vertically. Make sure your foundation is strong so you can build on top of that. Now the next question is, what does day 7 demand from you? Now it's very simple. Today is about evaluation, not execution. You are expected to arrive with answers supported by data from days 1 through 6. If the work was done, the data exists. If the work was not done, there's obviously no data to work with, which we'll figure that out. Understand that if the work was done, the data does exist. The activity audit is pretty simple. You're going to answer all these questions very clearly, and you're going to understand exactly where you're at in the system. I need you to send to my email, which I'll give you on the next slide. I need the total amount of messages that you sent across from days 1 through 6. I need your total daily outreach volume, your total number of responses received, and your number of active ongoing conversations. This way we can really see where you're at with everything in the system. Now understand, if you cannot answer these questions with specific numbers, the system was not followed properly. The first one is response patterns. Identify which openers receive replies and where conversations naturally flowed and where they died out. Patterns matter more than perfection. The other review was the emotional review. Reflect on your confidence level on day 1 versus day 6, moments of resistance and moments of momentum. Growth is measured internally before it shows externally. Process simplification. Define your most natural opening message, your cleanest follow-up, and a simple daily routine you can repeat. Complex systems break, simple systems scale. Lastly, the performance audit is answer this directly. What did I execute well? What did I make mistakes on? What will I double down on next week? Honesty determines trajectory. And today's your hard accountability checkpoint. The system will not work if the actions are not completed. If you don't have answers today, it means outreach was inconsistent, review was avoided, and standards were lowered. This isn't a mindset issue, it's an execution issue. It means outreach is responsible for showing proof of activity. It means outreach stays without excuses and correcting behavior immediately. It means outreach, no benefit to pretending the work was done. The system only responds to real input. Fake it, and you waste your own time. It means outreach sees success. So here is your 7-day review submission requirement. To complete day 7, it requires a written review submission. Each participant must submit the following: total outreach numbers from days 1 through 6, key response patterns identified, your refined primary opening message, your simplified daily routine for week 2, one personal execution mistake and correction plan. The way that you're going to submit this is you're going to email your day 7 review to ClosedByClosers@yahoo.com. Submissions must reflect real data and real effort. Skipping day 7 results in repeating week 1, carrying inefficiencies forward and slower results. Momentum without review leads to burnout. Week 1 created data, day 7 interpreted it. Week 2 will be built only on what worked. Those who completed this review will properly move faster. This program rewards discipline, not motivation. Day 7 sets the standard. Show up with answers, operate with intention. And this is the end of day 7. Understand that without getting this submitted, you will not move on to day 8. Get this submitted as soon as possible so you can start learning and understanding new skills in the future. Thank you all for tuning in today. We'll talk tomorrow.